What is up, my friends? Chrissy Chin here from Badass is the New Black. I am your host. Here on the podcast, I really work on helping inspire other entrepreneurs to really own who they are and be authentic to exactly who they are so that they can build a business 100% aligned with them and create the life that they truly want and desire and absolutely 100% deserve. My biggest thing is working less and enjoying more. So automation is 100% my jam. And so the more we can automate your business behind the scenes through funnels or building a team to support you, that is what I'm all about. And that's what I love to help my clients. So we chat about all kinds of things here on the podcast. And today is going to be just maybe a little bit different. I'm sitting here literally in my pajamas, drinking a little cup of tea. And I just want to hang with you guys today and talk about the last month of my life. If you're listening to this in real time, then maybe you've been experiencing it and witnessing it on social media. If you're listening to this in the future, then well, just hang with me. I'm going to kind of take you, on a little bit of a journey here. So it was like 6 weeks ago, someone that I'm in a mastermind with offered up the opportunity for others in that mastermind to come on stage at his event and speak to his audience. And instantly I said, yes. I said, I'm in, I'm down, this is something I've been thinking about and sort of dreading at the same time. So I instantly said yes to push myself outside that comfort zone and then instantly felt panic. And I just kind of want to share some of my thoughts, some of my emotions that have happened over the last month. Because I know a lot of you are just starting on your journey here in business, and you think that because the people that are farther along, the people that have made $1 million or have a great looking Instagram, like they have it all together and nothing to them is scary anymore because they've done the hard things in the beginning and they pushed through and they're, successful in their own definition. And so they can do anything and anything is possible and they have no fears in the world. But that is such a lie. And I just want you guys to understand and realize that no matter how successful you become and how many things you've done in your past, there are still scary things to tackle in your future and as you grow and stretch to build your business. And so I just want to be open and honest that was me for this. That was saying yes to getting on stage in front of 300 people that were not in any of the industries that I typically serve was really, really scary. So most of you know, I've been in network marketing, and the other business that I have, Grow Workspace, really supports network marketers that are in the Young Living industry. And so I actually have a speaking engagement in 2 weeks in front of those people. Amazing, amazing people, which a lot of you are listening here on the podcast. And that is almost less scary. It is less scary to me because I know the lingo. I've been there. I've done what they are doing, and I can really, I just know more about it. And so I know more about that audience and the things that they'll relate to. And so that is a lot less scary to me. What was really scary was the fact that I was going to be speaking to 300 plus hairstylists. Sorry, it's probably hairstylists, right? Not hairdressers, hairstylists and salon owners. And I am the girl that literally owns hairspray. Okay. I don't use anything else but hairspray. I, only wash and curl my hair when I'm going out on the town with friends or my hubby, or I have to record a video or a podcast. And today, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see pony and PJs. So I know nothing about hair. And I'm probably the worst, but So I don't know the lingo of a hairstylist. However, I am a client, from a hairstylist. So I have that perspective working for me, which was an advantage. And I really just tried to lean into that I'm not a hairdresser and I'm not going to pretend a hairstylist. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Any hairstylists on here listening are probably cringing every time I say that. I didn't say it at the event though. I don't even know if that's like a no to say. And I don't even remember what I was saying. Squirrel. This is what happens when I don't write out notes or go by a script or anything like that. So I really just tried to lean in. I was saying I wasn't going to pretend like I was a hairstylist or that I knew the ins and outs of a salon and what goes on in there. Of course, I picked my hairstylist brain when I was getting my hair done. I was like, listen, I'm speaking to a bunch of hairstylists and tell me all the things that you're struggling with. So what did I do? I went out and I did some research. I learned about kind of the things that hairstylists, whether they're commission or rental spaces or salon owners, what do they struggle with in their industry? And I realized that some of the same things they struggle with are the same things that every other business owner struggles with. They struggle with communication between their team. So from owner to stylist or between stylists, having the clientele to support the salon, customers. That's something that every business struggles with or strives to improve, right? Bringing people in the door or to your sales page online to buy the product that you're selling or the service that you're selling, that's the same. And so through doing research and trying to learn more about the industry before I just got up on stage and started blabbing, I really discovered that there was just so many similarities between that business and every other business. And it really just kind of the light bulb went off that like business is business, no matter the industry that you're in. And so I really embraced that. And that's what I decided to talk about. I decided to talk about some key things in business. And then what I was just about to say before is that I just leaned into the fact that I've been a customer of that service for a very long time. And so I used my stories as a customer of that service to maybe help turn the light bulb on for some of the stylists in there on how they could improve the customer experience and improve communication, maybe even between them and their customer. And so I really leveraged that. And I think that it went off with a hitch. But I was really, really nervous for the whole month before my talk was done. I was still doubting myself, even though I had this light bulb moment of like, business is business. And I literally came up with my talk, like in the middle of the night. I woke up in the middle of the night. If you don't know, sometimes I fall asleep with my children at 9:30 and then I wake up at 12:30 in the middle of the night. And it's like, I've had this amazing nap. And so I'm up and my brain is racing and all the ideas are flowing. And so one night I woke up and I was just on a roll. I couldn't stop thinking. And I just started typing in my notes on my phone. And I literally created essentially my speech for this onstage presentation in the middle of the night one night. When I woke up. And so I jotted all of that down, because if I don't write it down right then, I will forget everything in the morning. So that's something that I have to do. I have to write stuff down or type stuff out in my phone, or I will forget. And then I'll be mad, or I won't be able to fall asleep because I'm like, I don't want to forget this. And so it keeps myself up. And then I don't get enough sleep. And then I do finally fall asleep. And then I forget in the morning. And I'm like, what was that brilliant idea that I had? So I've learned that I have to put stuff in my notes. So I wrote this speech in the middle of the night. And then I didn't look at it for a few weeks. And I just still had this fear and this doubt of like, is this really what I should talk about? I was even scared to kind of go back and tackle it because I wrote it in the middle of the night. So it was kind of like, are the thoughts even clear? Are they even complete? almost scared to see if it was something that wasn't even going to be able to be used. What if I had to start from scratch because it was so bad? I couldn't even remember really what I wrote down. So I had been having a lot of anxiety about it. Is what I was going to say going to be relatable? Is what I was going to say going to be effective and valuable for this audience? And because my speech wasn't done, I wasn't feeling confident about it. And I was just kind of holding it back and not really talking to anybody about it and just kind of holding that anxiety in, almost like I didn't want someone to tell me that like it was maybe a bad topic and I had to start over. So I was just in avoidance. Have you ever done that where you just don't really want to like hear what you think you might hear? So you just avoid the whole subject altogether. So finally, I'm on a call with my high performance coach, and he's like, asking me some questions. And like, what's the biggest thing on your plate right now? And I was like, I'm just having a lot of anxiety about this speech. And actually, he was going to be speaking at the event as well, which was really, really cool. And so we just started talking about it. He's like, well, what's the anxiety about? And I was like, the fact that I don't know if this will resonate with people, if it's a good topic for this industry and the audience that's there. And he's like, well, what do you have? And so I, gave him some of my ideas, which I had also run by Ryan Whedon, who was putting on the event. And so I just ran the ideas by him. He's like, I think that's going to be a great topic. And so he gave me that validation that I really needed, which was that this is a good topic and you need to own it and run with it. And now you need to finish it so that you feel good about it. And I'm definitely one of those people, and I've talked about this on social media, that I will take as long as I give myself. So if I give myself up to the week before the event, I'm literally taking until the week before the event. And it's not like I'm doing a little a day. I'm literally doing nothing. And then I'm like, crap, I need to get this done. And so I do a cram session and I work on it all day, right? If we can function in a little bit different mindset and space than that and do things earlier, then we wouldn't be so stressed up to the day. But I find that really true. It's like we will give ourselves as long as we will take as long as we give ourselves. So I worked on the talk, I finished it up, and I felt so much more confident about it. And then I had to create a slide deck. I mean, you guys, when was the last time I created a slide deck? In high school, maybe? I mean, maybe college, but probably not. I was a nurse. Like, we didn't really have to do projects like that. And so I don't really know how to use PowerPoint anymore. But I had to create the slide deck. So I fumbled my way through it. I didn't come up with the information that was going to be on the slide deck really with enough time to give it to someone else, like to give it to my VA to do. It was kind of like, it's Wednesday, or Monday, you're leaving on Friday, you have to get this done today and tomorrow. And so I just blocked out some time and went after it. On Tuesday, before I was leaving on Friday, the event was going to be the following Monday. On that Tuesday, my mother-in-law says, I really want to hear your speech and what you're going to say. And I was just like, no. She's like, but I'm really good at helping people, get their message a little bit clearer and all of that. And I was just being super stubborn. Like it wasn't done yet. So I was still having some anxiety about it not being completed. My slide deck wasn't done. We're the race against time here, right? I only have so many hours with a sitter, I basically only have through Wednesday, because Thursday I'm going to be busy with last minute things and tying up loose ends on everything and packing and all of that. And then Friday we were gone and we were going to Disney World on Saturday with the family and all of that. So I would just kind of shut down, and I was like, I don't want any advice, anything. And I don't think that's the best place to operate either, because it's good to be open to what other people have to say. But then the fear that I had there was that her reactions and responses and suggestions were going to tell me that the talk wasn't good, right? And that I needed to rework all of this stuff. And that would have just put me in so much more anxiety. So I just shut down and I said no. So I get my slide deck done on Tuesday, and so I said, hey, so I'm feeling so much better, so much more relieved because I have that done. It needs to be proofed, but I have it done. And so I said, hey, I do want you to listen. I like thought about it. I'm like, why don't I want her to listen? Why don't I want, and it was because of that, because I don't have time to change a bunch of things. So I communicated with her. I was very honest about that. And I said, look, I finished it. I would actually love to do it for you. But here's the thing. I don't have time to change a lot of stuff. So I need you to look at it from that perspective and just give me maybe some small critiques or little things that I could plug in, or things that I say that maybe I could just leave out and make it more concise or more clear. And so she said, all right, I can absolutely do that. So that was really impactful, that instead of just avoiding the whole scenario and not getting any help from someone who is knowledgeable, willing, and has the capability to do it. Instead, I realized what was going on with me. And I said, okay, listen, this is what's going on with me. This is how you can support me in this. And I'm willing to take that help. And I would love to take that help. And so I ran through it with her, and she had some great feedback for me. We cut out a couple sections. She's like, you don't need that. It doesn't add anything to your point. Take it out. Just extra words. And so it was perfect. We went through the slides. We modified those. We tweaked them a little bit. And I just felt so confident about it. So Friday we head out with the family. We go to Orlando. We visit with some old friends, neighbors that had moved down there. And I was just pretty relaxed about the whole thing, even though it was on Monday. And we go to Disney World on Saturday. I'm good. Sunday comes, the hubby and kids are flying back home, and I just get so nervous. Not necessarily even about the speech that was happening on Monday, but I was going to be going to the hotel and meeting the few people that were in the mastermind for the very first time in person. Of course, at any event, I don't know anybody else, and these aren't necessarily my people in a sense that I know their industry. However, they're my people in a sense that they're business owners. So that's cool. But then I also don't fit in, kind of that fear of not fitting in completely. And so I got super nervous on the way over to the hotel, and I kind of get really quiet when I get nervous, or when something's bothering me. My husband can totally tell, so he's giving me space to just kind of work through it as I send them off, and they drop me off at the hotel. And as soon as I get there, and as soon as I give a big hug to John and some of the others from the mastermind, I just get this sense of relief. Okay, I'm here. I see a familiar face, even though we've never met in person before. And some of that anxiety just goes away. And my anxiety from nerves and being nervous really just kind of dissipates and turns into excitement. And I just started getting more and more excited about getting up on stage. It's something that I've always wondered if I could do or would be good at. And so just to have the opportunity to do it was just amazing. And it just kept leading up to excitement. And there was a little bit of nerves in there. I think I've heard somewhere from someone, actually a couple times, that the chemical reaction that happens in your body that makes you nervous is the same one that makes you excited. And so if you just kind of flip your mindset to I'm not nervous and I'm excited, then you should be good to go. I don't know. I was trying to channel that, and I was I'm not nervous. I'm just super excited to do this, right? But maybe it worked because I just was getting more and more excited. And then as I was getting mic'd up for the talk, I was just getting super pumped and excited. I loved the fact that I was able to speak after on the second day, in the halfway through the day. So I was able to hear from some of the other speakers and kind of get a feel and a vibe for what the audience was like, and different things that they said, those that are more in the industry. And I was able to play off of their talks a little bit with my talk. So that was really cool. Let's take a tiny little break from this badass podcast to talk about Kajabi, or as my husband calls it, Punjabi. Babe, it starts with a K. Kajabi. This is the platform that literally makes all the magic happen. It's plug and play, no coding necessary. And guess what, you guys? The best thing about it is that you get your very own mobile app with it. I looked into building an app and it was going to be over $100,000. You get your own right there. The platform is so affordable too. So instead of paying for individual platforms like your CRM system, which is going to host your email, your landing pages, which is going to capture your email, your website, which is going to be where all the magic happens, a community space, it's literally all in one. So it doesn't matter if you want to host courses, educational classes, have libraries in there for your team. This is absolutely the way to go. And I have a month free for you to check it out. So hop over to my website, thechrissychin.com/Kajabi, Kajabi, and you can check out a month for free. I cannot wait to see what you create. Please do me a favor, send me a DM, send me an email once you've created something so I can see it and check it out. Can't wait for you to get started and scale your business like a badass boss. All right, let's get back to the podcast. So I get up on stage, you guys, and the feeling was just pretty surreal when he's announcing my name and the song starts playing, and we had done a sound check before. So I'm feeling good to go. And I hired the camera guy to do an extra video of me because my thought process was, in thinking of my business and trying to be strategic and not miss out on an opportunity, was that what if I do really like this? What if I want to do this again? What if I want to promote the fact that I love being on stage, and that I want to do it for other companies or brands, or whatever it may be. And so I thought I need to take advantage of the opportunity, them having a camera crew there. And so I reached out to the camera guy, and I coordinated to have him do an extra B-reel for me. So a B-reel is like the highlight reel of something. So it's like all the highlight points in this little 60-second clip. And so I paid him to come to do that. He was already going to be there, right? That's like way more cost effective from a business and branding standpoint than trying to find someone else to come in and do the production. So for $350, I'm able to get just a tripod recording of the event, and then the 60-second B-reel of me kind of showcasing like me up on stage and the entire event that was happening. So I was trying to be strategic and take advantage of this opportunity. So I booked that. So just something I'm always trying to do. I am the queen of the last minute idea. And so I'm trying to be so much better in my business about thinking ahead and thinking what's going to happen down the road. What do I need to be prepared for? And how can I prepare for that now so that I'm not thinking, oh, I wish I would have done this, or I wish I would have done that. I can be comfortable with, I really did try and think of all the things and take care of all the things ahead of time. So just a little side note. So I have that. So hopefully I can use that to my advantage in the future. But I get up on stage, I'm super pumped, I'm super excited, and I've got my little table with my iPad, and it's got my slides on it with my notes, all set up, ready to go. And I've got the clicker, which we did not test before. And so I start the presentation, and I throw out a few jokes in the very beginning, and they laughed at my jokes. And you guys, that actually means the world to me. That was when everyone was texting me, how did it go? How did it go? That was the only thing I could say was that they laughed at my jokes. They thought I was funny. I don't know why. I like to make people smile and feel good and laugh. So if it actually happens, I get really excited about that. If I could make you laugh and you think that I'm funny, then I love it. So that was my biggest thing was they laughed at my jokes. And so the few jokes that I had in the beginning, they all laughed. And I was all right, I got this, no problem. And so I start trying to move the slides, and they're not moving. And I didn't even have this sense of of panic. I just went with it and I just kind of played off of it. And I was like, forward, backward, like, I don't know, first time up here, like bear with me for just a second. And then I see them start moving on the little screen in front of me. And I like look over at the sound guy and I'm like, is that you moving it or me? And like, I'm mic'd up, I'm on stage, like this is happening, right? And I realize it's him and I go, perfect. Can you just move the slides for me? I'll just say like slide and you move. And put the clicker down and just went for it. And I didn't let that, like stop me, break me up, disrupt me, get me down, distract me or anything. I was just like, we're just going to roll with the punches here. And it worked. And was it perfect? No, it wasn't perfect. And actually the fact that it wasn't perfect played into what I was talking about, because one of my topics was taking action and living by the motto, done is better than perfect. It's something I say all the time, and you've heard me say before, and I will always say it, and probably until the end of time, that done is better than perfect. And I literally had that example to use for them. I was like, for example, my slide deck, like it's not perfect. It doesn't have animation, words sliding in and out. I don't even have my name on it. I made these kind of last minute. The clicker is not working. It's not scrolling through. We're going with it, you guys. Like in the future, the next time I do this, I will make improvements. I will work towards reaching perfection. But for now, done is better than perfect. And hopefully this talk is going to be just as amazing, even though the slides aren't perfect. So I leverage it. I used it to my advantage. And it really just worked out. Come to find out, after my talk, the audio guy came over and he goes, so the reason why it wasn't working with the clicker was because you didn't send me a PowerPoint. You sent me a PDF. I was like, oh my gosh, face palm, like, of course it was not, user error from the audio side. Or the clicker, it was, Chrissy, you didn't send the right kind of file, but I had no idea. And that was kind of something, I thought about, gosh, if I ever do host an event, and I have someone who's not experienced or whatever, like the communication piece needs to be very clear. When you send your slide deck, make sure it's in a PowerPoint so it functions with the clicker. And like, no fault to Ryan. Like, I'm sure anyone would assume that everyone should know to send a PowerPoint, but like, this was my first time. I had no idea. I never used PowerPoint. I didn't know. And it was fine. Like, it worked out. Again, like, it doesn't have to be perfect. As long as you are willing to put yourself out there, you have the courage, you believe in yourself enough to just do it and get it done, and embrace the fact that it's not going to be perfect. There's going to be things that you're going to want to improve on the next time around, and embrace those as learning things. Again, the whole point and like of this podcast episode is that we're always learning, we're always stretching, we're always growing, we're always expanding. And to believe that you'll be at the point, or that the people that you admire are at the point where they don't have to stretch anymore, where they don't run into snags anymore, where they don't have anxiety about things in their business, where they maybe don't know the next step. They don't, the next step that they're going to take. They don't have all the answers for that. You can't assume that. The reality is, no matter where you are in your journey, the beginning or the deep middle, there's always things that we don't know. It's just at a different stage. And actually, I think Ryan had mentioned at the event this weekend, he said, different levels, different devils. Every level that you're at, there's something new and challenging. It's just at a different level. You reach the next level, just another devil to overcome, another challenge to overcome, no matter the level that you're at. And the question is, are you willing to step out outside your comfort zone and to push through and stretch yourself. I love my high performance coach, John. He always talks about this example of blowing up a balloon, and you blow up the balloon for the first time and it is so hard. It's like your cheeks are hurting, you're putting so much pressure in, you're like, am I going to pass out? This is so hard, right? And especially if you haven't blown up a balloon in a very long time and it's a brand new balloon, it's never been blown up before, it's very, very hard. But that balloon stretches, it stretches, and then if you deflate that balloon and you take that same balloon and you blow it up again, it's so much easier to inflate to the space that it was before. We are the same. The first time we do something new, it is really, really hard. It takes a lot of courage and a lot of belief in yourself to stretch yourself to that point. But now that I've been on stage, not to say I won't be nervous ever again, but I've been there. I know what the experience is like. I know what the high feels like after. And so it will be easier for me to do the next one, which is in fact in 2 weeks. And so on and so forth. So I've already stretched myself to this capacity. And so restretching myself there is going to be so much easier. It's not going to be effortless. When you blow up that balloon the second time, you still have to put effort into it, right? But it's going to be so much easier on your cheeks and easier on your lungs to blow it up that second time. It's easier every time you do it again and again and again. It gets easier and easier and easier. So, I don't know, my takeaways from this, hopefully you took something away, was just that no matter where you are, there's always challenges. No matter what level you're striving for, there's going to be a new challenge. And so if you're not feeling challenged right now, it's time to move up. It's time to do something else, to stretch yourself, to push yourself, and in order to get to that next level. If you're not pushing yourself, if you're not stretching yourself, you're going to stay where you are. And if you want to move beyond where you are, then you're going to have to embrace those challenges. If you are peachy keen, just hanging out where you're at in comfortable land, then stay in comfortable land. But you can't wish for more. And you can't say, I wish I had what she had, when you're not willing to step outside your comfort zone and to take yourself to the next level. Because guess what? That person that you're admiring, saying, I wish I was where she was, or I wish I could do it like her, or I wish I could be that brave. She had fears and doubts and rose above the challenges. She pushed herself to get there. And so if you want to be there, push yourself. I think there was one other point that I was kind of trying to make, but I don't really remember what it was. I'm going to go ahead and let you just take the points that really hit home for you and use those in your business. Until next week, I don't even know what next week's podcast is going to be about. I've literally haven't had brain space for much of anything else except for this talk. And I feel like now that my first one is over, there's room in my brain for everything else. So I have so many emails in my inbox. Last week was just kind of like a complete fog. So I have so many emails in my inbox. I have people that I've been trying to line up on the podcast that I have to get scheduled. So I don't know what's coming next week. But until this week, I just want you to embrace where you're at in your journey and what you're struggling with now, and challenge yourself to take action and move through that. Done is better than perfect. And if you want to level up in your business, you are going to have to stretch yourself. Stretch yourself like you're stretching that balloon for the first time, and it will be easier the next. Connect with me over on social media. I'm on Instagram and Facebook as the Chrissy Chin. I've got some super, super exciting things coming in the next just couple of weeks with the Chrissy Chin brand, with coaching and things like that. Now that this first talk is over, like I said, I have so much more brain space. And so I'm literally going to be hitting the ground running, hitting the computer, really running, and working my booty off to get some of these projects that I've been working on for a very long time, slowly but surely, that have taken a back seat the last handful of weeks. They're coming full force, and they're going to be available really, really soon. And it's going to help you take that next level, I think, take that next step and get to that next level in your business. I really believe that. So stay tuned, stick around. You can hop over to the website, The Chrissy Chin, and download whatever freebie I have up there, or join the email list to make sure that you are in the loop with all things. And definitely connect with me on social media. If you were at the Hero event put on by Ryan Whedon last weekend and you're listening to the podcast, welcome to the podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a little behind the scenes of everything that led up to the on-stage presentation that you experienced. So definitely reach out to me, connect with me on Instagram. I love nothing more than getting DMs from you guys, just sharing some of your challenges, sharing your wins with me, the things that you're working on. I just had Tiffany just sent me her new website that she rebranded and is launching. I took a peek at that and was super excited to see that. So I love, love, love seeing what you guys are working on. And if I can help in any way, I am here for you. And if you just, want to send me your wins, I love it. If you have questions, I love that. I am here to help. Until next week, just keep believing in yourself and keep pushing yourself so that you can get to the next level.